If you crave stories that pierce the heart and linger in your mind, make sure you hit subscribe right now so you'll never miss the next turn. Stay with me, because this one will leave you shaken. I never thought a single twist of a key could unravel my entire world. I stood at the front door, my hand gripping the knob, the icy metal cutting into my skin, while the muffled pulse of bass from inside throbbed against the walls. It felt like invisible hands were crushing my chest. Party lights flickered through the blinds, carving jagged shadows into the living room. And there she was, or at least, the sound of her. Her laughter wove together with a stranger's voice. Every part of me screamed to burst in, to put an end to whatever I was about to find. But my body locked up, as though it already knew the truth I wasn't ready to face. I replayed the warning signs, whispered calls late at night, the stolen glances at her screen I dismissed as me being paranoid. Tonight, the pounding music and her laughter made those whispers deafening. My fingers clenched around the keys in my pocket. And then, in a surge of reckless clarity, I acted. I slid the key, turned the lock, and sealed the door from the outside. For a fleeting moment, I imagined her surprise, the flicker of panic in her eyes when she discovered she couldn't get back in. I told myself it was justice, my way to claw back control from the storm she had invited into our lives. But control is nothing but smoke. I realized it when her phone buzzed in my pocket. Her name lit up the screen. My pulse staggered. The phone vibrated against my hand, and I answered with a voice that trembled even as I tried to steady it. "Where are you?" I demanded. "I'm locked out," she said, too calm, too playful. My gut twisted. That wasn't the tone of someone who simply forgot her keys. That was someone dodging truths too heavy to carry. Behind her voice, I heard it, chairs scraping, glasses clinking, and then a laugh. A man's laugh. Deep, close, unmistakable. My hands shook so violently the phone nearly slipped. "Who's there?" I asked, straining to hold my voice level. But my trembling gave me away. "Just a friend," she answered, too fast, too light. "Why are you acting worried?" "Don't lie to me," I hissed, the fury breaking through. For the first time, her laughter broke off. Silence crashed over the line, thick and suffocating. Then came a sharp inhale, soaked in guilt. "You don't understand," she whispered, her voice laced with something close to begging. "It's not what you think." My vision blurred. My chest seized. I wanted to throw the phone into the wall, to scream until the entire house shook. Instead, I sank down onto the cold concrete of the porch, the keys slipping from my hand. I had always believed betrayal was something that happened in books, in gossip, in someone else's tragedy. Never mine. But here it was, living, breathing, brutal. The memories stabbed at me in fragments, lipstick smeared on her coffee cup, the faint trace of cologne on our sheets that wasn't mine, her sudden obsession with her phone I had brushed off as habit. All of it had been breadcrumbs, leading me here, to the wreckage of what I thought we had. "Why?" I finally croaked, my voice cracking, that one word carrying the weight of countless sleepless nights and silent doubts. She didn't answer. Her silence screamed louder than any confession. And then, with a cruel kind of softness, she said, "Maybe we've been living different lives, and you just didn't notice." I wanted to argue, to demand she strip away the lies, to rebuild what had crumbled. But I couldn't. Instead, I felt the betrayal hit like a physical blow, every heartbeat echoing through the hollow where trust used to live. Minutes blurred into hours, or maybe hours into minutes. Time had no shape. I sat on the porch, listening to the faint hum of laughter inside, feeling the slow poison of realization seep into my bones. When the music finally faded and the lock clicked from the inside, I stayed still. I watched her step out, her eyes searching mine, desperate for something, anger, forgiveness, anything. But what she saw reflected back was grief, raw and jagged. "You can't do this," she whispered, her voice shaking, human for the first time. "You can't lock me out." "I can," I answered softly, each word heavy with sorrow. And I did. Because I needed to see the truth for myself. Because I needed to know. Her gaze lingered on me, and for the first time, I saw her fear. Vulnerability. The same cracks I once thought only I carried. But it was too late. The real door had already closed, the one built from betrayal, doubt, and the collapse of what we once dared to call love. I stayed there long after she left, the porch heavy with silence and the sharp scent of a neighbor's cigarette smoke curling through the night. The keys still rested in my palm, cold and unyielding. Proof that some locks can't be undone. And I understood then that love, no matter how deep, can splinter in an instant, sometimes by choice, sometimes by chance, and sometimes by the quiet cruelty of a lie. I whispered her name once more before letting it dissolve into the night. Trust was gone. Hearts were fractured. And in the stillness that followed, I finally understood, some doors, once locked, are never meant to open again. And if you've stayed with me until now, you already know how heavy betrayal can sit in a person's chest. So don't just leave, subscribe, join this community, and be part of a place where every story reminds us of the power of truth, the cost of lies, and the strength it takes to keep going. Because the next story may just hit even closer to home.